Off-the-job training. What is off-the-job training? Off-the-job training is defined as learning done outside of an apprentice's normal day-to-day role, but within their working hours. It can include training that is delivered at the apprentice's place of work. It can also include regular day release, block release, and special training days or workshops. As a statutory requirement of an apprenticeship, apprentices must spend 20% of their contracted hours on off-the-job training, excluding holidays. For those that work a standard 30 hours per week or more, they must spend a minimum of 6 hours per week on off-the-job training over the planned duration of the apprenticeship. For part-time roles, the duration of the apprenticeship must be extended pro rata to ensure the apprentice receives sufficient off-the-job training. So how do employers plan for off-the-job training? Work with your training provider to discuss the apprentice's planned program of learning and to help identify relevant activities for off-the-job. These activities should be collated into a comprehensive proposal and documented on the apprenticeship agreement and training plan. Training providers should also deliver clear guidance and support for line managers, outlining their responsibility for the apprentice's off-the-job training. Criteria considered to be off-the-job training includes being directly relevant to the apprenticeship standard, where apprentices develop new knowledge, skills and behaviours. Takes place during normal paid working hours. Excludes ineligible activities such as initial assessment, English and maths. What is included in off-the-job training? Off-the-job training offers a blended learning approach across a range of different activities which will help develop the apprentice as an employee. Theory-related activities such as attendance at workshops, training days and webinars relevant to the apprenticeship, completion of online learning, role-playing or simulation exercises, training in new working practices or new equipment, in-house training programs relevant to the apprenticeship, practical-related activities such as learning new skills at work through shadowing other members of the team, practical training or training in the workplace relevant to the apprenticeship, industry visits, conferences, or taking part in competitions such as World Skills, learning support such as coaching sessions, study time such as writing assessments, assignments, and completing projects or activities, self-study that includes reading or watching videos, writing reflective journals, revision time, where this is required for the apprenticeship. Now that you understand what off-the-job training includes, let's look at what is excluded. Initial assessment and onboarding activities, English and maths training, program reviews or on-program assessment excluding endpoint assessment, any examinations or other testing. Other training, generally employer-specific, that is beyond the requirements of the apprenticeship standard. Calculating off-the-job training. Off-the-job training comprises of at least 6 hours per week. This is a consistent figure, regardless of the hours worked by the apprentice. This figure, determined by the ESFA, represents 20% of a 30-hour week, which all part-time apprentices currently do. For apprentices who work full-time and more than 30 hours per week, it means that they can spend less than 20% of their week doing off-the-job training. There are some additional points to note when working out the calculations. Statutory leave should not be calculated in the dedicated 6 hours of off-the-job training. It is only applicable to working hours. Some apprentices and some standards may need more than 6 hours per week of training to develop full occupational competence, such as degree programs. Any off-the-job training, such as an evening industry event, that takes place outside of working hours must be paid in lieu or offset against normal working hours. Additional training following a failed endpoint assessment does not count towards the required 6 hours per week. The minimum time needs to be achieved before undertaking endpoint assessment. The 6 hours per week are for calculation purposes only. Once calculated, the program can still be delivered flexibly. The volume of training delivered must be guided by the apprentice's initial assessment. This may mean that an apprentice trains for more than 6 hours per week. Please refer to the ESFA funding rules for further information. Recording off-the-job training. It's important to record off-the-job training activities, making sure they are valid and beneficial. Apprentices cannot progress to endpoint assessment and complete their apprenticeship until the minimum dedicated training hours have been accounted for. Your training partner will develop a training plan with the apprentice and their line manager to plan all off-the-job training hours and document them on the apprenticeship agreement, the training plan, and the Individualised Learner Record, or ILR. Does off-the-job training have to be delivered in a particular way? There are no regulations on how employers and their training partner choose to parcel up the delivery of off-the-job training. Providers have a lot of expertise in designing quality programs and can advise on the benefits of each delivery model. It can be 1 day a week per month, or done in a longer block preceding a more intensive on-the-job rotation. We hope this video has provided you with helpful information on off-the-job training. For more information, please follow the link on screen.